Morning, student. Today in theme 9, the Kings and Chronicles, we will discuss about the production of chronicles. This is the second part. Chronicles commissioned by the Mughal emperors are an important source for studying the empire and its court. At this time, same time, they were meant to convey to those who resisted the rule of the Mughals that resistance was uh, destined to fail. The rulers they wanted to ensure that there was an account of their rule for posterity. Posterity means the new generation. Means on that time the rulers also wanted the chronicles or the accounts or the books which they were important for their next generation. The authors of the Mughal chronicles were invariably courtiers. The people, those who work in the court of the Mughals, okay, they were the main authors. The histories they wrote focused on the event centered on the ruler, his family, the court, and the nobles, wars, and administrative arrangement. So all these things they also saw in the Mughal courts, and they were also focused when they wrote the chronicles. So they focused on all these things. Their titles, such as the Akbarnama, Shahjahanama, Alamgirnama, that is the story of the Akbar, the Shahjahan and the Alamgir suggests that in the eyes of the authors, the history of the empire and the court was synonymous with that of the emperor. So all these, when the rulers, they were also adopt these titles before their name, like Alamgir, okay, and all these things they were also making as a chronicles like Akbarnama. This chronicle is fully based on the Akbar. Then Shahjahanama, this chronicle is based on the Shahjahan, and same as it is Akbarnama based on the Akbar. Okay, so all these books these were the main chronicles of the at the time of the Mughal period. Now we will discuss about their languages, that which languages they were used from Turkish to Persian. They were used this Turkish language, but they were convert them into the Persian. Mughal court chronicles were written in the Persian. Under the Sultan of Delhi, it flourished as the language of the court and of literary writings. They were the at the time of the Babur, if we are saying that, this was the main language. This was the court language, or all the administrative language or writing. Okay, that was the main language on that time. As the Mughals were Chagatai Turks by origin, Turkish was their mother tongue. Their first ruler, Babur, wrote poetry and his memories in this language. I told you because the Babur also came from that area. He was belonged to this Turks. Okay, and he used this Turkish language, but after that he changed. It was Akbar who consciously set out to make Persian the leading language of the Mughal court. Cultural and intellectual contacts with Iran, as well as the regular streams of the Iranian and Central Asian migrants seeking position at the Mughal court, might have motivated the emperor to adopt this language, because on that time the Iranian people and from the people from the Central Asia, okay, they were also visited in the court of the Akbar. So they were the Akbar was also motivated, and he also adopted this Persian language. Here you see, this one is the Persian alphabets and the numbers. Persian was elevated to a language of the empire. This was the main language. Elevated matlab main language. It was spoken by the king, the royal household, and the elite at the court. The rich people, the ministers, all the people they were spoke this Persian language. So this was the main language on that time. Further, it became the language of the administration at all levels, so that accountants, clerks, and the other functionaries also learned it. Okay, because they ruled in the India, our Indians people they never knows about the Persian language. But when this Persian language was the main language by the king, or that was the court language, if we are saying that, so then the on that time the accountant, clerks, or the other people, those who were doing the work in the Mughal court, they were also learned these numbers and this Persian language. Since the people using this Persian in the 16th and the 17th century came from many different regions of the subcontinent and spoke other Indian languages, Persian too became in that one is Indianized by the observing local items. Here you see a new language then arose, that was the Urdu, sprang from the interaction of the Persian with the Hindavi. This one is the Urdu language. These are the alphabets. Here you see, sorry, these are the alphabets: alif, be, pe, te, te, se, jim, je, badi, he. Okay, so these like ka, kha, ga in our Hindi language. So same as it is. These are the alphabets of the Urdu language. So this language also arose on that time, and Urdu language and the some words of the Hindi language, that one also mixed with each other. That was the people also spoke with the mixture of the Hindi and the Urdu language. So that language was known as the Hindvi language. Mughal chronicles such as the Akbarnama were written in the Persian. Others like Babur's memories were translated from Turkish into the Persian Babarnama. This Babarnama was earlier written that was wrote in the Turkish language. But after that, this Babarnama was also translated into the Persian language. Translation of the Sanskrit texts such as the Mahabharata and the Ramayana into the Persian were commissioned by the Mughal emperors. The Mughal emperors on that time they were not only translated the Turkish text, but also they were very eager to know about the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, this Hindu textbooks. Okay, so they were also translated these Sanskrit texts into the Persian language. So they were also read these holy books of the Hindus. The Mahabharata was translated as the Rajanama. Rajanama means the book of wars. Okay, student. Next topic we will cover in our next video. Thank you.